Welcome once again to the Ivan Consult's Business Growth Series. And today, you are going to discover one powerful business growth secret you currently are not using to increase your sales by 80%. I repeat, today you are going to discover just one powerful business growth secret that you are currently not using that will increase your sales by 80%. At the end of this session, you will discover how to create purchasing power at will, how to buy advertising units without spending any cash, how to get top dollar for your excess inventory, how to make sure disposable assets and inventory that are just sitting there gathering dust and costing you money to maintain actually gets sold, your warehouse actually gets cleared, and it doesn't just get cleared for almost its retail price. No, it gets cleared for top dollar. You actually make profit out of this. Now, right now, because of what's currently going on, many businesses, and your business may be one of them, many individuals who may not own businesses but they are employed by businesses, currently they are realizing that no cash is coming in. Absolutely no cash is coming in, and no cash is coming in because people are risk averse. People are holding on to their cash. People are holding on to their money. People all of a sudden that your products, your services were top priority for them, all of a sudden you are not that important to them anymore, and they are haggling for the price. They're telling you this thing is too expensive, I cannot afford it, it's not really necessary. Why is this? Because they are not sure where the next cash is going to come. So right now, a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals, as a result of people not purchasing their goods and their services, they have a lot of inventory that is just staying there fallow, gathering dust, and is costing them money to maintain so that that inventory stays in good and top shape. Now, unfortunately, you're having inventory, people are refusing to buy your products, no cash is coming in, but the bills are increasing. Light bills are increasing, rent bills are increasing, maintenance bills are increasing. That's for your business, and also for you personally, bills at home are increasing. So what do you do? How do you cope with all these challenges around? It's enough to get one really, really tense, and it's enough to paralyze one so much that you can't even think. But just imagine that instead of this harsh and tough business environment, you have a business environment where you don't pay a single penny to advertise your product to your ideal clients. Imagine that you get customers that are obsessed with your products and your services. In fact, they are so obsessed that you have almost a cult-like following of clients coming on a regular basis to purchase your products and services. Imagine that you have an endless list of referrals. Imagine that you can print your own money legally. It will be recognized by the government. You can actually print your money legally. Imagine that you can earn top dollar on inventory that was costing you money to maintain and was just gathering dust. Just imagine that all this happens to you all of a sudden. And it can happen to you if you just learn this one powerful skill. Now, before I tell you about this skill, I'm going to tell you a story. I don't know how many of you know about the automobile brand Chrysler. There was a time when a particular dealer had about 10,000 Chrysler wagons that he had to sell. This salesman all of a sudden from nowhere decided to visit him and felt that, oh, I could sell maybe 3, 4, or maybe even 10 cars. So he went to approach him and asked him, oh, I would like to sell some of your cars. The guy now told him that, I have 10,000 cars sitting in my lot that are getting rusted. This was during winter. They are getting rusted because they were in the cold, they were in the snow, they were not being sold. The salesmen couldn't sell them, nobody could sell them, and they were just wasting. And he had an additional headache. A new a new model was about to come out. So what his problem was, I haven't even sold this one. How would I get this new model and market it? And I have 10,000 vehicles. So when this salesman immediately saw an opportunity, and this salesman happens to be very knowledgeable about the skill I'm going to teach you about. And so this is what he did. He told the man, this was a fantastic opportunity for him. He just wanted to sell 10 cars. Now all of a sudden he has 10,000. So what he did was he decided to approach TV houses, media houses throughout the whole of the United States. Now, one thing that media houses always have is that they always have advertising units, and many times their advertising units are not used up. So what he did, he gave the media houses an offer that was too irresistible. Anybody who didn't take up that offer was actually on the losing end, and you'll be surprised. Some people actually didn't take up the offer. So he told them, I'm going to give you 36 Chrysler station wagons. But in exchange for those 36 Chrysler vehicles, you are going to give me a certain amount of airtime where I can advertise. Okay? And you're going to write it out for me because I may not be the one to use it. Somebody else may use it. He didn't tell them that, but that was the idea. So he went throughout the country. Of course, some stations weren't wise, they rejected it. But there was this particular guy that when he heard he owned a CBS station and he had 36 cars, he was like, wow, this is a great deal. It was just him and his son that owned the station. Of course, they had staff and everything, and definitely he alone could not use 36 cars. But he saw an opportunity. He owned a dairy farm and he needed milking trucks that would help to transport the milk from his farm. So he told them that instead of the Chrysler vehicles, can you give me some milking trucks? And the salesman was like, oh, that's a fantastic deal. I would substitute some of the 36 cars for 11 milking trucks. So he still gave him the cars, and then he gave him 11 milking trucks in addition. You know what this guy did? This guy took the milking trucks, of course, directly to his farm, and was able to help him, fulfill his orders, and they was able to boost his dairy farm business. Then, for his company, he took the cars, slashed down their prices by 30%, and sold it to his staff. And then another media house in San Francisco heard the deal, and they were like, wow, they took it up. Some people refused, but many people took it up. Now, what happened in the end was that this Chrysler dealer that had 10,000 rusting unsold vehicles and had offered 36 cars to each media houses for advertising time ended up having 5 years worth of advertising time across different stations. He completely cleared his inventory, and then he created automatic referrals from the media houses, and I will explain how this happened. So, of course, he could now go and advertise on the media house. But not only that, he also had advertising units he could sell to other people, other industries, other companies, and tell them that, oh, I have this advertising unit, I'm selling it for so amount with this station. They could easily come and buy. That was one. Two, Chrysler was now in the face of so many customers all over the country because they had so much advertising time. And they weren't just in the face of customers that had, they weren't just on the news. The people in the news were using their cars. So they were automatic evangelists for them. So they would talk about the cars, and automatically, once the cars were doing well, it will result in people coming to Chrysler to purchase cars. And then those people that had bought the cars could now serve as repeat business for Chrysler, because all Chrysler had to do was tell them about their new model, and if they were interested, they come over and buy. So you see how Chrysler created business for themselves without spending a single penny. And that salesman that cut that deal made a whole lot of money, from the transactions that he made. I just told you about one person. You can imagine all the other transactions that occurred in the different media houses. Now, this same skill is a skill, an open secret that Apple uses to get cult-like followers. Now, what Apple does is that every year it brings out new models of the Apple phone. Sorry, not every year, but on a regular basis, it brings out new models of the Apple phone. Now, when it brings out new models, Apple, of course, they are marketing to new people, but they don't really have to market to new people. All they do is keep their current customer base updated about the new phone and its features and its benefits, and tell them everything that's going to happen with the new phone, and also offer them that when the new phone comes out, they don't have to buy it brand new. They should bring their old phone. Give us your old phone, and you just pay the difference in price, and we'll give you the new phone. That is an irresistible offer. And so their current clients keep coming back because they want to benefit from the new features at a reduced price. So you see how this same skill is being used by a top brand like Apple. And what is this skill? This skill is called barter. And barter basically is a mechanism that allows businesses or people come together to initiate a transaction, either using barter as a currency, or in some cases using barter as a marketing method that brings people together to create a transaction that on a normal basis would not exist. So barter can be used as a marketing method, or it can be used as currency to fast track or facilitate a transaction that on a normal day would not exist. Barter is actually a powerful tool that can cut through any impediment, obstacle, or restriction that you may have. And if you've noticed that there's a glass ceiling, your business has just hit a plateau, barter can help you explode from that plateau. Okay? So any plateau, any glass ceiling that is currently existing in your business, barter can help you sail or scale through it. Now, this works whether you are a business owner, or you are an employee, or you just have personal financial goals that you want to achieve. This works for you. And barter works basically on this: find a need and meet it. Find a need and meet it. Barter works basically on finding needs and meeting those needs. So right now, I'm going to show you how barter works, and we're going to talk about how to barter. I'm going to show you a simple checklist that anybody that is going to barter for the first time should use. I'm going to show you how to create a barter inventory. I'm going to show you what you should not barter. Okay, I'm going to also show you how to create a winning barter ad. I'm going to show you how to account for tax when bartering. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to write a barter script. Now, when it comes to barter, you have to think like a child. Okay, now I don't know if any of you experienced this when you were children, but many times your mothers will give you either make food for you, make snacks, or buy food or buy snacks for you and send you to school. And sometimes those things you don't like it. Now, it may not have happened to you, but you usually will find one or two classmates that don't like what they've been given. And some smart boys and girls, what they would do is they would exchange that meal with another person. And at the back of those children's mind, they did not care how much their parents spent, their mother spent to buy that snack or make that snack, how much effort and distant time and money she put. That wasn't the child's own interest. What the child's own interest was that this food, I don't really like it. I prefer that other food. So, when you are going into barter, what should be at the back of your mind is not necessarily the value of that thing, although it's important. But what should be at the back of your mind is how valuable is that thing to the person that you are going to do the barter transaction with. So remember, think like a child. Is that thing valuable to that person? Is what that person is about to give me, is it valuable to me? Is it profitable on both sides? So that's the number one thing that you need to have in mind when you are trying to barter. What should be at the back of your mind is value, not necessarily the costs, but the value. How valuable is this item that I'm holding in my hand? Is this item that I'm considering making an exchange for, how valuable is it to the other party? Now, before I now go into how you are going to go about when it's time, when you want to make a barter exchange, I want to talk about what exactly are the things that you can barter. Okay, what are the things that you can barter? You can barter food, you can barter clothing, you can barter shelter. Keep it in mind that you can barter food, clothing, and shelter. You can also barter in skills, your personal skills, skills of people that work together with you. All those can be considered when you are trying to do a barter transaction. So now we're going to go into how to go about doing a barter transaction. Now, before you go into a barter transaction, it's very important that you have an inventory of items that you actually want to barter. So the very first thing you should do is to make a list. And for those who've never done this before, this is the first time you're hearing about this. Don't just jump and start using barter for your business. Test it with things at home. Test it with your friends, with your neighbor. Then after you've tested it at home, you can now try it for business. But it's simple and it's something that you can apply, and it's something that will yield you so many returns. In the course of today's session, I'm going to tell you one more story just to let you see the possibilities when you are using this one skill to propel and to transform your business. So the very first thing you need to do is you need to have an inventory, and the best way to have an inventory is to sit down and make a list. So first, do it for yourself at home. Make a list of all that's in your own home, all that you own. Next, make a list of your skills. Now, to be able to make a list of all that you own in your home, it may not be easy for you to do it alone. The children are at home now, so it's good. It's smart that you engage them to help you come up with this list. List every single thing. List every single thing. After you've listed everything that you have at home, decide, oh, what is used, what is not used. What am I interested in bartering? What am I not interested in bartering? After you've listed everything, next list what you need. And then after you've listed what you need, list the people that have what you need. And then, of course, the next list will be you trying to find out what they need and what both of you can barter. Now, if you notice, we focused just on your home, but you can now extend this to your business. List all the inventory, all the items, all the assets, all the liabilities, everything in your business. List it out. Don't stop at hard goods. List the soft goods, IT software and all that. List the skills, chauffeurs, the drivers that you have, the cooks you have, the cleaners you have, the IT staff you have. List all the skills. Okay? When you list all these things and you list what you need, list who you can get it from, list what they need, then you can now go ahead to trade. Now, for those who stay to the end of this session, I'm going to drop a link, and when you click on that link, it will request for your name, your phone number, and your email. For everyone who follows that link and clicks, for everyone who stays on this session till the end, you are going to get a workbook. Now, if you notice, I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm not interested in just talking and teaching you. These are crisis times. I'm interested in you implementing everything that I've talked about. So after this session, I will drop that link, put in your name, your phone number, your email, and we would mail you a workbook. That workbook, within the next 24 hours, get to work and start working on your inventory. We're going to give you brain teasers to help you remember, oh, what are the possible things that can be in my inventory? Fill it out and get to work bartering, because this is a skill that will help you. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that during times like these, when people are reluctant to spend cash, bartering gives you a very, very good opportunity to carry out transactions because you are not asking for any cash. Bartering helps you basically to lower price objections because you're not asking the person for cash, and what you're actually giving to the next person is something they value, is something they need. Okay, so have that in mind. During periods like this, bartering is a very, very good skill, and when you use it, you realize people's guard come down because once they see that what you are giving them is valuable, you're a trustworthy person, you're a person of integrity, they latch on to it and they are ready to exchange with you, skills, services, goods with you. Okay, so now we know how to come up with our inventory. The next thing is I'm going to give you a checklist for somebody that is bartering for the first time. Okay, this checklist would guide you and let you know what you should do and what you shouldn't do when you are trying to barter. I'm saying that this checklist will give you an idea of what you should do and what you shouldn't do when you are trying to barter. Okay, now number one on that checklist is that when you are doing a barter exchange, don't be so eager to quickly say yes. Actually take time to bargain with the person that you are talking with. When you are doing a barter exchange, actually take time to bargain with the person that you are talking with. Okay? Next, trust and integrity are two very, very important things when you are going into a barter transaction. It's very, very important that you make sure that you are trustworthy and you have integrity. Why do I say this? If for some reason, the person finds out that, oh, this thing that you are exchanging with me, it's not doing what you said it would do. Trust me, your barter business ends there, because that news will spread far and wide, and that would be the end of your business. Now, for someone that is starting to barter for the first time, it's wise that you first do it with people that know you. Okay? Do it 1 or 2 times with people that know you, maybe your neighbor, your friends, your relatives, people that know you. And then when you get the hang of it, you can now take it to your business. So even for your business, when you are bartering your business, do it with a business partner that knows you, okay, before you now do it with someone that absolutely doesn't know you. Now, be sure that you know exactly what you have to barter. And we've covered it initially by telling you that you should come up with an inventory. Have an inventory of the things you want to barter. The reason is that you may go there and present something and find out that, oh, this thing is really not valuable to that person. But because you've not done your inventory, you can't remember, you don't have your list with you, you can't remember, oh, what else? What do I have that will be valuable to this person? So it's very important that you know exactly what you have to barter. Okay. So the next thing is that you should think beyond just a one-to-one swap. Now, later on in the talk, I'm going to talk about something that we call triangulation. What it basically means is that I barter with this person, but what I bartered with that person is not really what I need. There's something else I'm trying to get. But I'm not being short-sighted. I'm realizing that even though I bartered with this person, I can still get around to what I'm trying to get. So as a newbie, the tendency is just to look at what is happening right now between you and this person. But if you can look beyond that initial swapping, and know that, oh, I can get this from this person and swap it with this other person and swap it with this other person and finally get this. Okay? Of course, that means you plan ahead and you do your thinking and your homework ahead. Okay. Then, if money is offered to you when you are doing a barter exchange, don't turn it down, and always keep your eyes open for swapping opportunities. Always keep your eyes open for swapping opportunities. So with these few things that I've said, with this checklist, once everything is checked or most of them is checked, you can go ahead and do your barter transactions. Next, we're going to talk about things you should never barter. Okay? We're going to talk about things that you should never barter. This is very, very important. Remember, keep in mind that we said trust and integrity are very important when you're doing a barter exchange. And because these two are very, very important, it's very important that you don't barter items that are broken, items that are destroyed, items that are not in their proper working function. If you must barter those items, make sure they are fixed first before you go and barter them. Make sure they are fixed first before you go and barter them. So I'll quickly run down through a list of items that you should not barter. Okay? So, first and foremost, you should not barter used clothing. Okay? If it's clothing that you know you as a person are not going to use, you don't like, why would you give it or trade it with someone else when you know that you as an individual are not going to use that particular product? Then next, like you see in the pictures here, never barter broken items. If you must barter broken items, make sure you fix them. Never barter broken appliances. If you must barter broken appliances, make sure you fix them. Never barter vehicles and appliances that are not in good working condition. If you must barter those things, make sure you fix them. Now, when it comes to objects of art, antique objects, diamonds, precious stones, if you must barter them, make sure that they are accompanied with a legal document that talks about the value of that thing. If the person that is bartering with you is just saying it by word of mouth that, oh, this thing is valued at this, don't take their word for it. It must be followed by an insurance document or a legal document that says this thing is of this value. So when it comes to diamonds, gems, works of art, antiques, be very careful. Now, perishable goods. I know earlier I had said that you can barter food, but you have to be careful. Most items that are bartered, you give people a long period of time to use them before you give them a long period of time to use them. So if you have an item that you must use within a short time, it's not usually very good to barter, because many times when people barter with you, they're not going to use the things immediately. So it's always good to give people at least a minimum of 3 years when they do a barter exchange for an item with you. So if you have to barter food, make sure it's something that either you are going to use immediately or the other party will use immediately, or make sure it's something that you are going to transfer to somebody else immediately. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you want to be sure that the person at the other end is getting value for that transaction. Then scrip. Scrip is basically barter money or barter credits. You have to be very careful when you are bartering this, especially as a newbie, because sometimes in the past people have been known to buy barter credits and barter money that did not amount to anything. So you have to be sure that it's from a reputable company when you are buying this. Okay. So now we know we've been able to create our inventory. We know what not to buy. The next thing is you now want to let people know that, oh, I have items that are available to barter. Okay, so you need to create an advert. And barter adverts are very easy because basically you are giving people an offer that is irresistible to them because it's something of value. But there are 3 simple things you need to do. Number 1, you need to be clear. Clearly state what you are exchanging, what you need, where you can be reached, and when you can be reached. Clearly state what you are offering, what you will take in exchange, where you can be reached, and when you can be reached. That is 1. So after you've clearly stated all those, you now need to put that ad where your clients are, where your customers are. For example, if you are a lady that wants to exchange an oven, a fairly used or brand new oven with a dressing mirror, you need to place that ad where other women will be. So where would that be? Either in a salon, in a store that sells household furniture, or maybe in a magazine, a female celebrity magazine, housekeeping magazine, baking magazine, weight loss magazine, in places where other women will be. That is where you put your ad. And don't worry, in the workbook we're going to have templates on how you can create winning ads. Now, remember at the beginning I said that I'm going to show you how you can legally print money. Remember the story that I told you about the Chrysler dealer and the salesman? Did you know that the salesman and the dealer literally created money for themselves? How did they do it? They did it by creating advertising credits. All those adverts that Chrysler had access to for 5 years, definitely they won't be able to exhaust it. But they can trade it with someone else. They can go to someone else and tell that person, oh, I have credits that are available to sell to you. and that person will purchase it from them. Okay, that is how you can also create money. But how do you do it? When you've done a barter exchange with somebody, you don't stop there. You actually take time to write out clearly what the value is, how long they have access to it, and you also indicate that it is transferable. It's very, very important you indicate that what they have exchanged from you can be transferred to somebody. Now, that document that they are giving them can stand in lieu of money when they are going to meet another person. So they can tell another person, oh, I need this from you. I have so amount of credits with the dentist. Can we do an exchange? That way you have created money. Okay, so that is one way you can legally print money. Are you beginning to see the possibilities? Are you beginning to see that a lot of objections, a lot of bottlenecks during this crisis period can be completely obliterated and eliminated by just using this one simple skill? And don't worry, we're going to have templates of scripts that you can use, you can create when you are bartering. Now, because of time, I can't give you many examples, but I've talked basically about bartering hardware. Now let's talk about bartering skills, soft assets. So, can you barter with a professional? Can you barter with a doctor? Can you barter with a lawyer? Can you barter with an accountant? Of course you can, but you must be the first to solicit the trade. Usually they won't go out looking for you. And then you must have goods and services that the professional wants. So if you go first to solicit the trade, and then you make sure that you have goods and services that that professional wants. Okay, so now you know the checklist that you need to check before you barter. You know how to get your barter inventory. You know how to write out that inventory and plan out that inventory. You know what not to barter. You know how to place a barter ad. The next thing is to act. Okay, and you can start acting today. Now, I know I've said a whole lot, but after this session, make sure you click that link, download the workbook, fill everything, and we're going to drop a number there because I know this is something you're doing for the first time. It may be tough for you, but we're going to drop a number there that you can WhatsApp, and somebody would respond to you if you're having challenges doing your first barter. Okay, now before I go, I want you to see the possibilities beyond just the initial person you're bartering. And I'm going to illustrate this with another story. A restaurateur wanted to get a car to deliver their food items, and they wanted a reasonably good car. They wanted it to be brand new, but they didn't have the money. And they realized that yes, they had this skill of bartering, but if they go to the car company and they tell them that they want to barter food or dining units for cars, they won't take them serious. I mean, one car is about $100,000 or 2 million, 3 million, 20 million naira. They won't take them seriously, and they wanted a brand new car. So what they did was they sat down and thought, what would that car company need? They realized that the car company needed adverts. They needed to sell their cars. They needed advertising time. So they went to a media house. Now they know media houses have guests that they need to take out to eat. Sometimes they need a change of scenery when they are shooting their videos. So they offered them dining for about a year, and they also offered them that they could shoot their videos in the restaurant, and they offered them dining for about a year to a certain amount, and in exchange they wanted about 300-400 hours of advertising time. Now this advertising unit saw it that this is very, very good. A new place to take our clients to, a new place to shoot our videos, free food for the whole year. Fantastic, we'll take it. So the restaurateur now had something in his bag. He had advertising time. So he went to the car dealer and told the car dealer, I want a car, but in exchange for that car, I would give you certain amount of advertising units with this particular station, which is valued as this amount. And guess what? He got the car. But do you realize that he didn't just limit himself to one transaction, he did a triangle of transactions. Can you see the possibilities? And let me tell you what happened at the end of the day. The restaurant got an endless list of people walking into their restaurant, filling up their tables, eating their food, and talking about how nice and good their food was. Okay? The car dealer was able to advertise his cars on the station and attract more people to his business, while the TV station got a new site to air their programs and also to take their guests to. So everybody benefited at the end of the day. Can you see how some people got more referrals for free? How some people got more business for free? How some people were able to mop up redundant inventory? Those chairs would have been empty. The restaurant may never be full, may never have everybody filling up their chairs and eating their food, may have to throw away food, but now they've been able to take care of that. Can you see the possibilities? Can you see how in this crisis situation you can turn around your business without spending one single currency, without spending a single dollar, a single naira, a single pound, a single euro? You can turn around your business. But listening to me is not enough. Make sure you click on that link, download the workbook, and get to work today. Bye-bye.